Let's talk about the TikTok ban and what I recommend you should and shouldn't do. My name is Tony, host of the Content King podcast, where I teach you how to make money with your content on social media. Now, in this episode on the ban, I'll cover some basic info about it, what's going to happen on January 19th, how we should react. So if you know anyone who needs to get caught up on this, send it their way, and I'll try to keep this short and sweet. So let's dive in. First, why does Congress want to ban TikTok? Their reason, it's a national security risk. Now, they say they're afraid of China accessing our data. And by data, I mean what content we like, our activity on the app, and all the information TikTok collects about our device, which can include our location and data from other apps we use. So not information we want an adversary to have. You see, TikTok is a US company whose parent company, ByteDance, operates out of China, a communist country. Also, a country that our government has identified as an adversary. But China has a cybersecurity law in place that if the Chinese government needs any information or data from a company, they can request it and gain access. Now, Congress thinks that this alone is a national security risk because it means China has access to American TikTok users' data, right? Well, not exactly. Right. TikTok stores all of its data in the United States, Singapore, and Malaysia, and there is no proof that ByteDance even has access to this data. So then how could China get it if ByteDance doesn't have it? ByteDance, however, has access to the algorithm, which decides what we want on our feeds. So now we're at an impasse, right? China apparently cannot see our data, but it's possible they can affect what we see. Now, if China truly is an adversary of the United States, then I can see how that could be problematic for the US government. So let alone our data, which China presumably has access to through apps like Temu and Shein, or however you pronounce those. Let's just set data access aside. It's all about the algorithm now, right? It's all about the content, right? This is where I get a little upset because a democratic nation protects free speech, and restricting access to platforms where individuals can share and exchange ideas, whether they align with the government views or not, restricting access to those platforms violates the principle of free expression. Also, a hallmark of, hypothetically, authoritarian or fascist regimes is their suppression of alternative voices and ideologies that challenge the ruling narrative. Now, I don't throw the word fascist around lightly. If it's about data, all the US government has to do is prove that China can access our data, and all TikTok has to do is prove that China cannot. Now, if it's about the manipulation of content, it becomes problematic that the United States wants to shut it down, which, hilariously, in my opinion, TikTok users have decided to protest. Not with picket signs, but by signing up for the Chinese version of Instagram, basically, called RedNote. So this past week, RedNote became the #1 trending app in the App Store. TikTok users are flocking to this app, and it's trending on all news platforms that TikTok users are migrating in troves. And upon signing up for the account, you agree to the terms and privacy policy that essentially give the Chinese government permission to access your data. So in the US government's effort to protect our data, they've actually pushed its citizens to give it away for free. Okay, I'll stop there on the ban, the speculation, me calling our government fascist. I'll stop there. But that's the landscape. So what's next? Basically, we trust in the lawyers and the Supreme Court, and we wait for a ruling. Also, if you didn't know, that ruling must happen before January 19th, which is in 5 days as of recording this podcast. And if the Supreme Court does nothing, then the ban goes into effect 1 day before Trump enters office as the president. Truthfully, I have no idea what he can do once he starts or what he can reverse, but that's the timeline. So what will happen on January 19th to your TikTok app if the ban goes through? Nothing. You will still be able to access TikTok and post to TikTok. Those videos are going to be hilarious, by the way. I can't wait to see what's going to be posted. But Apple and Google will have to remove it from their app stores, meaning you won't get any more updates, meaning the app will slowly break and become slow and full of bugs, basically unusable. And that's what will eventually happen in like 6 to 12 months is what people think. But this is a podcast to help you make money on social media. So let's learn how to do that. Should you sign up for Lemon8, RedNote, or any of these platforms that seem to be the next TikTok? No. You should wait, okay? You should not sign up for an app that gives China access to personal data on your phone, okay? Wait until January 19th. Just be patient. Right now, people are scrambling. Nobody ever makes a good business decision when they are scrambling. Now, what I recommend to do is, what we know works. First, stay on the course on TikTok, because if the ban is lifted, you will be rewarded for your consistency. Second, you should learn how to stand out on Instagram. Here's why. I know you hate Instagram. I get it. But what do you hate more? Having a failing business or some app that apparently also sells your data? Like, what do you hate more? Many of us are making great money on Instagram, and it's easier, to be completely honest. It's proven to work, and your customers are already there. What more do you need, honestly? So don't get sidetracked with these new apps just yet. I say focused on what we know works, because you can't grow a business chasing trends. So right now, focus on your business, focus on TikTok, and if you want to prepare for the ban, just start learning Instagram and keep your ears open. Now, if you want to get with a bunch of other creators who are all wondering what to do next, there are about 400 of us in a free school community huddling for warmth. In all seriousness, okay, I created a free community you can join on the school platform where you can receive coaching from me, get feedback on your posts, learn from other entrepreneurs, and thrive in a community solely focused on your content and how to improve it to make more sales. So check out the description below this episode to join, and you'll be joining hundreds of other entrepreneurs and creators just like you who want to know what to do next. Now, if this episode helped you and helped clear things up, then by all means, please share it with a friend who's wondering the same thing. Ultimately, I am here for you. The Content with Tony community is here for you, and I'll keep you updated with everything I know as soon as I know it. So thank you for listening, and I will see you in the community.